Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another movie review. This movie was brought to me by Tubi called Vicious Affair. So I believe it stars Maya Houston, Lamaya Good, which is Megan's good sister, Robert Ricard, um Angela Black China White. Yeah, so let's get into it. So they're just married couple. They've been dating since, I guess, high school or college. Kenneth, he's a hedge fund broker. And we have Skylar, who works, I think, at a magazine company called Rogue. So them two are married. She also has a friend named Camilla, who's supposed to be married to this guy named Lance. And then also her other friend, Kim, which is also her assistant at her job. So, they're having a good time and whatnot. So eventually, I guess down the line, Camilla, husband cheats on her, Lance, and she's going through the motions. She basically lets Kim and Skylar know what's going on, and Skylar takes it in her best interest, to like let her come stay over at her house. Meanwhile, at the same time, Skylar's suffering through these like stomach pains. Come to find out, they had an event to go to, and she ended up passing out. So she ended up inviting Camilla to the event as well, because at this time, Camilla and her husband, Lance, are going through the cheating scandal, whatever the case may be. So she's there with her by herself. And she goes to the bathroom, and when Camilla comes out the bathroom, she sees Lance, and she's just start being belligerent towards him and whatever. I'm just like, what in the world? Eventually, Skylar goes to check on her as well, and then Skylar passes out. Come to find out, Skylar, she has kidney stones. She had two. Like, they must have been really, really bad that they couldn't pass through her system. So she eventually had to get surgery. So they said she had to stay there for a few days. At the same time, Kenneth was like, I don't want Camilla staying there. And Skylar was like, no, I promised her to stay because, she's going through a divorce or whatnot. And he was adamant, like, I do not want her to be there. She could go stay at a hotel. And Skylar was like, Kenneth, I want her to stay there, make her feel at home. She could stay at the guest house. So eventually, Camilla's in the guest house. Kenneth goes home after he says he's going to call to check on his wife. And later on that night, he eventually comes in. And Camilla, she's like, oh, I made you a snack. Are you hungry? He was like, yeah, I am kind of hungry. He goes to eat the food. He was like, that was delicious. Next thing you know, he goes to bed. And he don't remember what happens. All he knows is that he woke up and Camilla and him were in the same bed. So, come to find out, I believe Camilla drugged him because she basically wants what Skylar has. Because you could tell, like, her mannerisms and action shows that she want her life, like, so bad, and her man. So, she basically sleeps with Kenneth, and she's crazy. She giving off some psycho vibes, but whatever. As the day goes on, he was like, listen, we can't do this. This was a mistake. So eventually, Skylar comes home the next day, and Camilla basically threatened Kenneth that, I'm going to tell Skylar everything that's happened, that how you wanted me, you seduced me and stuff like that. He was like, that is not the truth, and that is not the case, whatever. So the next couple of days go by. I guess Skylar didn't pay no attention to the things because I guess Camilla was doing stuff as she was like away or whatever. So Skylar had to go back to the office, and she was just still trying to get ways to get Kenneth to pay attention. So one day, I think Skylar was still in the house, and Kenneth was in the shower. And Camilla goes into the bathroom, and he was like, you can't be in here. And she was like, do this to me, or I would scream and tell Skylar everything. And he was like, get out of here. I don't care. Get out. So he was like, she was screaming like, Sky. And he was like, oh my God. He basically had to, have sex with her in the shower. And at the same time, I guess the next day, the laundry, when she was cleaning up or whatever, she found somebody's drawers there. So when he comes home early that same afternoon, he was like, oh, you were in here cleaning. Sky confronted him about the panties, knowing daggone well those were Camilla's panties. But at that time, she didn't put two and two together, like, why is somebody else's panties here? But you forget, you also have a house guest. But anyways, they got into an argument about it. He was like, at first, those wasn't hers. But then at the same breath, he was like, those are yours. Those were for your surprise. But she's like, listen, whatever. Long story short, she was like, those ain't mine. I don't care what you say. It's just not sitting right with me. So as the days go by, Camilla started getting more and more crazy with it. Excuse me. Eventually, he tells her to leave, and she goes stays at the hotel. She threatens to tell Sky everything that's happened. Later on, that they got into something at the hotel where she slaps him, and he was like, "Listen, I don't care what you do. I'm done." So later on that night, he goes home and he tells his wife everything that Camilla did. And he's talking about how he was drunk. He don't realize what happened. And she was like, yeah, I don't believe you, whatever. Get out the house. So he goes to go stay at his friend's house, Jeff. And now, and still at this whole entire time, after Kenneth tells Skylar everything, Camilla still hasn't said one thing to Skylar to contradict what Kenneth said. So it's basically what he said goes right. So around that time, what else? Something else happens. Oh, Camilla, something happens to her, and as they go on, whatever, Camilla ends up breaking into their house, and her and Skylar gets into it because Skylar tells Kim what was going on, and Kim was going to go there for backup. She was like, no, I got this. So they get into a fight, and they end up going to the hospital, and then they get in touch with the detective Randall, and come to find out Camilla was screwing the detective, so he basically wasn't doing anything to help them. And she also filed a restraining order. Both Skylar, Kenneth, and Kim are on the paper for her to stay away from each other. That didn't go into effect. It was like whatever. Basically, it was hearsay. She can go break into the house and nothing happened to her. But basically what happened, she did go break into the house afterwards. And there's nothing she could do about it. She did do it like an empty threat, but the detective was like, that's not something you should say out loud to a detective. But it's just like, whatever. So eventually, they plan to go do a vacation, go away for a couple of days just so they can clear their mind or whatever. So they get to the place, have a good time. The view was amazing. Only person knows who they, though. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Knows that their way is basically Kim. Skylar just told Kim that she'll be out for a few days. Kenneth's job is mobile, so he's still working regardless, but she don't want no work to be done. So they go later on the night to enjoy the rest of their day, whatever. Next, he's getting the music and snacks together so they can have a good time. She's in the bathroom running the water. At this time, she's like about to go away, and she turns around, come to find out it's Camilla's there. And she was like, how did you get here? She was like, at one point we was friends and we used to share our location. You should have thought about that too. Like, next, her and Camilla going back and forth at it. Camilla really wants her life and her man. And now no avail did Kenneth come to help, and she's calling for like, Kenneth. He can't hear over the music, whatever. So eventually they're going back and forth fighting, whatever. She has a gun. She ends up knocking into the water, whatever. And then Skylar ends up punching Camilla into the water and choke her so she stays still, whatever. And next Ken comes in, they call the police, and now it's that. So fast forward 9 months later, they done had a baby boy, and You would have thought Camilla died. She ain't died. That chick is somewhere in the car listening to their whole conversation, talking about, yeah, mommy's here. Like, this chick is nuts. You would have thought she got the hint by now. No, she really want Skylar's life and her man and her baby life. She wanted to have it all. But that ain't gonna happen. So yeah, that was this movie. Movie was definitely crazy. If y'all have not seen it on Tubi, check it out. Y'all would not be disappointed, because I wasn't. I was like, oh wow, this is really good. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.